Okay, who's here? And how is the quality? Decent qual. I also have the fan on, so let me know if the fan should not be on. Whenever I review these videos, the first 10 minutes is me is everything cool? And I think about people who are really good at this who don't ask. They're like, I know it's good. I set it up and I'm good at it. Hey everybody, I really wanted to have a live stream and talk to you guys. I know it's been way too long since my last live stream, my disintegration live stream, which is funny because I was wearing that Cure shirt earlier and I changed out of it, so it wasn't some, I don't know, repeat. But I wanted to talk to you guys and kind of let everybody know where I am on YouTube, because I have been getting messages and stuff hey, it seems like you are quitting YouTube or slowing down on YouTube. Some people kind of very personally upset that I am not posting, and I just want to let you guys know it would never be anything about you guys. I would never be heck with my subscribers, make your own Tattoo Talk Tuesdays. That would be crazy. So I wanted to dive into it. These live streams tend to go very long, so I want to make my points clear. And I'm also viewing the chat on the side too. So I think what really got me thinking, and it's been almost it's just been 24 hours. NPR yesterday had a special about YouTubers and how YouTubers get stressed out and that it is difficult to be a YouTuber. And I wasn't somebody who was super on board calling myself a YouTuber. I feel it does have, I don't know, leaves a little bit of bad taste, I feel in your mouth and ears when you're I'm a YouTuber. Get out of my way. But it took me a little while to have confidence about that and be yeah, I'm a YouTuber, hey, I have an iPhone 5. So I think I never presented myself in a way where I was making YouTube videos and that was my career. And I think at the beginning of the summer, I was kind of stoked to take on that identity. And it's weird, I was reading that article yesterday from NPR, and they interviewed Lar DIY. If you watch her videos, at any point, if you've ever looked up a DIY video, one of her videos probably came up in the search box, so you might be familiar with her, you might watch her every week. They interviewed her at VidCon, and she was I have a whole team of people who make my YouTube channel successful. And she's and it's still really hard for me, and I still have to take breaks, and I still have anxiety and stuff. And just kind of reading through that, I was yeah, it is hard. It is hard to come up with content and stuff. But this summer, I also depended a lot on myself for being social as well. And I think, I'm a huge person who I kind of see this pattern within myself with my significant others, or maybe before with my roommate. I'll feel really secure with one person, for example, a boyfriend, and then I'm that's all the social life I need. I'll just come home and he's here. Or with my old roommate, I was I never have to leave my house because she'll come home and tell me something cool, and that's social. And kind of getting my feet wet and being social this summer in a realm where it's all dependent on me and my personality, I feel it's used up a lot of my energy. And even now I feel guilty, I'm a socialite now, no time for YouTubing. I don't want it to come off that way. But I feel like I have been indulging a little more, like with my schedule. And it's hard to find that balance. And I think that I've felt discouraged in it as well because it started off like me being vocal about it. Like, oh, I can't hang out. I have to film today. And then people are like, don't you want to do this cool thing instead? I'm like, yes. And that turned into like a 5-week thing. And I feel bad because I want to make YouTube videos and it's that like motivation to make them that is always there. And I definitely have a video where I talk about how like I'll have ideas, a lot of ideas, and it's kind of hard to like push them all out. And now I feel like I don't have enough time when suddenly I have the most time. So, you know, I was thinking about creators that I really like and who influence me. I've said it before on this channel, Michael Sweater is one of the biggest creative influences in my whole life. And I followed him for years, and I feel like a pattern with him is he always has a dedicated workspace, or he has like an office or a studio or just a corner in his room where he can sit down and he begins to work. And in my old like living situation, I had that. I had like a huge computer, like it wasn't mine, so I don't have it anymore. I had this big computer set up with like, this computer was strong. Nothing buffered. It was full of memory. Every YouTube video I've like ever made in the last like 2 years is still saved on that with no, even a hum from the tower. It just is full of memory. And now, like I don't have a strong computer. And when I was like looking for computers, I was like, oh, just something I can afford. Little old me. Oh, so I make a video sometimes. When really I should have been like, I'm a heavy computer user. I make 40-minute long videos all the time. And I need a computer that can keep up with me because before, I don't know, my computer was much stronger and it made the process more seamless because I was just like, yeah, keep up with me, Windows. I don't know, and now I just have this like little old laptop and I'm like, I won't insert clips or have an intro or anything. And I also don't have like a dedicated workspace, and it's kind of messed up because I know that I should, and I don't have one. So I think I need to like get a computer, and I'll watch like YouTubers like setups, and I watched like Jacksepticeye's computer setup. If you don't know him, he does like he like plays video games and I guess like talk storing them. This dude has like a pull down microphone and like 3 computers and like a tower that's like green, illuminating green, and all this stuff, and like cooling systems. And get out of the group chat, we hate you. And I don't know, I think about that stuff. So all of that aside, sometimes I think that all these ideas should be secret and they should be like behind the curtains kind of thing. And I think about how other YouTubers maybe aren't public about pitfalls or don't have any. And I don't know, I kind of just like, I like to humanize myself and talk about how it is hard and how I am trying to find a balance between like developing a social life and like having a summer and I don't know, like trying to make things work. Um, so I don't know. I tried to like keep a lot of stuff kind of private, not even private, like a secret, but like sometimes I think like this is only a problem today, so why would I make a big deal about it and why would I talk about it? But I also think about how much like other people letting me know where their falls are, how that can like inspire me and how like potentially it could help you guys too. And I mean, in the sidebar, someone is saying you're overthinking it, and that might seem true in the language that I'm using, but I get countless messages every day asking where my videos are, and it is something that disappoints me because I feel like I should be doing better because I want to as well. So it's not overthinking because maybe you're not seeing the back of the house stuff and the people who contact me and they say like I watch your videos and I miss you and I want to see you, or I turn you on while I turn on your videos while I'm working, or like my friends and I watch your videos together. And even though those messages seem encouraging, they also counter and they make me reflect on like how it may have I don't know, how I should expect more from myself. And you guys are really great. You guys are the first people to be like, don't be hard on yourself. You're great. And it's really cool. So I want to spend more time dedicating myself to the YouTube because it is my favorite thing. It's kind of crazy. I wanted to talk about that a little bit and open up with something like that. I think dedicating myself and like being cool and like saying like I am a YouTuber, getting a computer that like actually works and isn't just like a netbook kind of thing. Where do you buy computers? I don't know. And that's kind of just like what I wanted to say a little bit, address that, ask you guys how you've been. I don't know. I'm just like kind of reading through the group chat here. So, I don't know. I wish I knew how to build a computer. I think I should just like get a strong one. I think I want a PC. Yeah, not everyone can build a computer. It's true. I think. Oh, how do I get that white balance back? Yeah, I don't know. I'm also like really excited for fall and stuff like that, and making those kind of videos. I feel like a ton of people might be like on vacation and stuff and not really home watching videos potentially anyway. And I never want to make like videos that are just like throwaway content. And I know that like some of us love our favorite content creators and we're like they could make anything literally and I'll watch it. But then sometimes I'll see videos that like have no effort and it makes me feel like a little like as a viewer like I'm disposable. Like anyone will eat my content. So I never want to do that. I don't know, videos take so much effort to begin with. Why like burn yourself out making shitty videos? But I don't know. Just reading some of this sidebar stuff here. It's really good to like be with you guys and like see what you guys have to say, and what you guys are talking about over here. What did you think about H3H3's new video? So, I'll make it a huge tangent. H3H3, they're some of my favorite content creators on YouTube. I've also like viewed their setup, and they edit all their stuff on a PC and not a laptop, and I was like, duh, why didn't I know that? Um, so I love H3H3. I've been watching them for a few years now, and I've been following their lawsuit. They were being sued. Like, they make kind of reaction videos, like commentary videos, and some of the clips from a commentary video, the original content creators sued them for copyright infringement. So it was kind of this big, huge deal. Like, if H3H3 lost the suit, it meant it was going to make waves for the YouTube community. And I have never made a reaction video, so I don't know what it's like to kind of borrow copyrighted material. I have gotten flagged before for like copyrighted music being played in some of my videos. So even that is horrifying. So imagine like being sued. Long story short, they won their case, and I don't know, fair use was restored amongst YouTube. So it was a really big deal, I think, for YouTubers especially, and then also, you know, if you like H3H3, if you're an Ela Kleiner, it was just a good feeling to support the people who you know are real people. And I think that's cool. And then they re-uploaded the video that they were copyright strike for. So I thought that that was outstanding work. I bought a box of wine when Joanna Newsom had her baby, and I whipped that thing out for H3H3. I was like, we won, baby. Let's mix this with some 7-Up. Mama's got to go to church on Sunday. So that was really cool. I was super stoked. I really like H3H3. I don't know. I think that they're very authentic, and they're growing at such a huge rate, and I can really appreciate that, like, they came from like hyper humble beginnings, and they just like wanted to make like comedy. And I think that's super cool. I think that YouTube is a place for people who like know that they have like a creative feeling. They can come up here and express it, and you can express it to an audience of 10 or an audience of 1 million, and that's so special. So I want other YouTubers to thrive and, you know, do well. That's all I want. That's all I want in this little world. What's going on with the plant in the back? Yeah, it definitely is wilted. I have it in the window for today. It's a plant that hangs from the ceiling, and I have it in my living room area. And when I bought the plant, I was like, hey, what's a plant that like can chill in my house and only receive like minimal light? And I was recommended this plant, and it's not doing too well. So it's going to be in the window for a few days. I also redid my planner box, which I was going to include on my monthly favorites. I want to drink box wine with Quicken. We all the way out here, honestly. I think that celebrating, it's funny, like, Joanna Newsom had her baby, and whatever the fuck I was doing, I was like, nope, Joanna had her baby. So I hit up my, my handyman, and I was like, Joanna Newsom had a baby, what are you doing? And when I got there, he was like, I think that you should celebrate this with someone who understands what you're talking about. And he was like, this is a celebrity who had a baby. And I was like, listen, I can't wait around for my whole life for one of my friends to have a baby when I care about Joanna Newsom so much. So celebrate these things. Celebrate them. I celebrate Sonic's birthday. What's the difference? It just it puts way more holidays in my schedule. Who wouldn't want that? So 100 theories on what Joanna Newsom's baby's name is. But who knows? No. I'm sorry. Who's excited for Halloween? There will be a Stranger Things 2 lookbook, like without a doubt. Without a freaking doubt. Oh yeah, I do have a moss ball. He lives in there. My little meatball. But, I don't know. Stranger Things 2, I don't know why he bite. He's trying to protect me from myself. I love you. Ethan's so cute. He's like really big. Whenever I post a picture of Ethan, I'm just like, how did this happen? I remember when you were just a little squirt. So I watched the eclipse. So the eclipse was on Monday. It was like a big deal, I guess. I watched the eclipse. So we went to New Jersey. We went to the beach. The Shampoo Girls. And I guess in Philadelphia, when the eclipse happened, it got dark. But we were on the beach. I guess I don't know It never got dark. I never even knew when the eclipse was happening. And by the shore, like right by the water, we just saw this like lad with a welding helmet on, and he was just like cooling, like. So I was with Milena, and I was like, "Yo, ask that kid if we could borrow his welding helmet." Like, we looked and saw that it was time for the eclipse, but like visually we couldn't look at the sun. So she was like, "I'm not doing that." So I walked up to the kid on the shore, and you always like feel weird wearing a bathing suit because it's like naked. So I walk up to this kid butt naked, and I'm like, "Hey, I'll trade you some beer, like if we can use your helmet. We didn't prepare for the eclipse." Because I like heard on the radio that all the eclipse glasses were fake, and I was like, I can't ruin my eyesight for an eclipse. And then I watched Philip DeFranco later that night, and he was like, the eclipse was not a big deal. I was like, hey. So we traded this lad some beers for the helmet, but I think he was just like stoked to join our little camp. Because he was like talking to everybody, his buddy came, and they had like more stuff for the eclipse. It brought people together. We cried. We cracked Coronas. But I was only... What are you doing? Rolled off the bed. I was only in view of the partial eclipse, so it just like looked like a croissant in the sky, and it was kind of hard to see. The lads took pictures on my phone of the, I almost said croissant, the eclipse. Let's see. If you knock over the computer, I'll die. These lads.
It's showing up a little bit, not a whole lot.
There's Milena. So shout out to these lads. Thanks, guys.
Is it gonna shatter my phone? What?
Hush. Hush. Hush to me. But, I mean, I'm sure you guys got a way better view of the eclipse. This is what I got. And a cashew. But it was still tight. It was still cool to, like, talk to strangers and stuff, I guess. And exchange pleasantries and beverages and eclipse glasses. And that was cool. Like, sometimes, so we went to a beach in, like a more quiet beach town, like, not necessarily super, like, tourist. More, like, no shoobies. So, as shoobies, we showed up. And, I don't know, I feel like Philly kind of sticks on you. So, we're in this, like, humble beach town, just, like, Philly as fuck, with a whole cooler. All of us have tattoos. We're all yelling at each other. I don't know. I feel like we built this like unapproachable wall, but that might just be all in my head. But then later we drove to a different beach and went on the boardwalk, and I felt like people saw us and they were like, "Don't look at the Philly kids." like like a seagull attacked Milena, and I feel like a mom tried to like say an anecdote like, "Oh, you better watch out for your French fries," and I feel like all of us were like, "She was attacked by a wild animal, miss." Or I made all that up. I don't know. I don't know why I feel so weird all the time. But someone asked me like, "Oh, what do you eat at the beach?" And Milena got French fries that I think were vegan, but I just like didn't even risk it. I don't know. You know when you're like in the sun all day and you're like, if I eat one thing, I'll just die. And she's like eating them, and the seagulls are like swarming. If there's like a place where I just know for a fact I probably can't eat, I won't even bother. I won't even be like, "Is that peanut oil I'm smelling back there? Young man, you're 14. Is this your summer job?" Well, I am vegan. So I'd fuck it, you know. I'll eat some Jelly Ranchers in the car. But, I don't know. So, yeah, on my Instagram story, it was kind of cool. Either Philip DeFranco was talking about it or Trevor Noah. I get confused because I watch them back to back. But I think it was, one of them said, it was so cool that across the country, all of us went outside and did the same thing. We all, like, observed the eclipse. And I was going through my Instagram story, and, like, all the cats from Rose Tattoo were outside. You like see Mark Cross and the glasses and his hat, and it's just funny. You're like, "There's my dad," and then you go through and everyone from True Hand, the tattoo shop in Philadelphia, where I got my Crybaby tattoo, they were like equipped. They had like the little pinhole thing. They were like charging up their crystals. Like it was really cool to like go through and see all the people like watching the eclipse all at the same time, and no one was too cool. Like I liked that. Because you know, I always feel like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't want to do something lame." I don't think I'm really like that though. I was hype on the eclipse. We were driving down to the beach, and I was like looking at the articles, like reading them out loud, and I was like, "Well, at 3:35, we'll get the best view." I was hyped up. And I talked to strangers. Whew. I'm sorry, I'm reading the group chat. Yeah, I think a lot of people were working. I saw like, you know those like weird millennial articles that come out about everything? I saw one that was like, "Across America, we will lose $900,000 because of people watching the eclipse. And Netflix lost a net worth of blah 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 during the hours of the eclipse." And it's like, who looks that shit up, man? Stop bumming me out. Yeah, everyone went outside to look at the eclipse. Give me a minute. Um, oh yeah, nice breeze. My fan is on, and it sounds like some of my neighbors are having a really good time, which is pretty cool. Um, yeah, I don't know. Did you like Brand New's album? So this is pretty cool. So if you haven't heard of the band Brand New, it's been about 8 years since they come out with a new album, and my private thought is that their previous album I didn't really like. But when I was in high school, they were like my favorite band. I think a lot of us go through a point where they are our favorite band. But I was pretty disappointed in their previous album, and before it came out, I had like ordered this like pre-order package that came with like concert tickets, a T-shirt, a patch, an album, a small boat. And then I got the album and I was like, I can't rep this shit. I hate this album. It's not even sad. It's abstract. And then everyone was like, don't say that out loud. Don't talk about how you don't like the album. So I was like, okay. And I don't know if you guys know, because I brag about it all the time. But one time I won concert tickets off of the radio to see a private brand new show. It was insane. I illegally parked my car. It did not get towed. Brand new and I. So when this album came out, I didn't even know about it, and they launched it in secret, because now that's what all of us do, because there are no secrets, because the web promotes everything for you. Why promote anything? They put it out. 11 of my friends were like, holy shit. And then I put it on. It was for free on YouTube, and now it's on Apple Music, which is what I use. So I listened to it originally when it was only on YouTube, which was kind of hard to like run my errands and have my YouTube open. And I thought it was good. I think I have to listen to it a couple more times and like fall in love with it though. It was not like an immediate match. And I'll explain how I feel about Daisy because it is a private thought. My master colorist at my salon, I hit her up and I was like, hey, I think you like Brand New, and I'm just letting you know that Brand New came out with a new album, but if you don't like it, I didn't tell you. So she was like, hey, because I was like, hey, I didn't love Daisy. And she said that Daisy was created for a new generation of Brand New fans, and we were old generation Brand New fans. We were Deja kids. We were like your favorite Weapon kids, and just Daisy wasn't the same, and we expected it to be the same. And like Me Without You is one of my favorite bands. There was a long period of time where I had never missed a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania show by Me Without You. If you're like, I kind of recognize you, that might be why. Me Without You came out with an album in between that I won't listen to. So I think, but then I'll hear other people are like, that's my favorite Me Without You album. So it's just for different people who maybe came in late to the game. I wanted Daisy to sound like Devil and God, and it just didn't. And I didn't accept that. But, this new album, I think I have to give it a second chance, a little bit less unbiased, because, I don't know, I felt like some of the lyrics were, like, a little new, but the band members are at different points in their life, and I think I try to connect to people in, like, that authentic way, and that's why I don't like to, like, figure out things about artists. Like, I still haven't read Morrissey's autobiography, because I'm like, don't tell me. I just want to guess and then relate to the life that you project through your music. I don't want to really know. But are you guys like that? I don't know. Like, different celebrities, I want to know everything about them. Like Joanna. But that's a little different. And I don't know why. I'm reading the group chat right now. Sorry. Yeah, I think AFI is definitely a band that, like, very much changed so much. Like, you can like AFI as a punk kid, and then you can also like AFI as an emo kid, and not to say that we can't all come together. But I definitely feel like, you ever, like, wear a band t-shirt, and you're kind of like, no, not then, but now. Like, I think Green Day is kind of an example of that. I think Green Day was one of the, like, first punk bands I got into, and you can definitely argue that they're not punk anymore. So it's weird for me to be like, yeah, when I was punk, listening to Dookie on my boombox, and people are like, ooh, I'm not sure. And I couldn't tell you what Green Day sounds like anymore. But growing up, I really like Green Day. And then my younger brother got into, like, what? It's like After international super hits, what is the Green Day album? Anyway, and then my brother really liked Green Day afterwards, and I was like, you're a loser. I love Green Day. I had a Kerplunk phase like yesterday, but I don't know. American Idiot, yeah. So I think American Idiot and I don't know, Dookie are so different. Like I was listening to Dookie and I was like, I'm gonna move to the big city one day and it's gonna be hard for me, but I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna spit and I'm gonna spit on the ground and TV's gonna brainwash me. And then American Idiot, I was like, what? What are you talking about? Yo, Nimrod is so good. So good. Yeah, right. So I feel like if I wore a Green Day shirt tomorrow, it would have mixed feelings because people would be like, "Oh, Green Day." I heard that they almost did that like disaster festival. They almost headlined that, and I'd be like, "No, Dookie from when they were poor punks. Then, not now." Fall Out Boy. I went through a huge Fall Out Boy thing, and then they like I don't know got like really commercial, and I was like, shh, never mind, delete that post off my MySpace. You ever get in the car though and have like a hard Fall Out Boy sing along? Woo! But yeah, that's why I was worried about Brand New. But we don't want our favorite bands to stay consistent because what if they evolve? Like Even Me Without You started as a screamo band, and then Aaron Weiss had like music, like vocal lessons, and then Brother Sister came out, and you were like, oh, I get this, I get it. So it's kind of getting a little windy, weird here. Is anybody affected by the hurricane at all? When I lived in Texas, there was a pretty big hurricane, so I don't know. I don't know if it's like really scary for you guys, but I don't think we're getting any effect of it at all. But I still wanted to talk about it and hope that you guys are okay. Charging up all your electronics. When I lived in Texas, I think there was no power for like 2 weeks after the hurricane, and my phone died like the third day. I had called my grandma like 100 times. I was like, Grandma, today in the hurricane site, we're doing fine. Rations are low, and hot water is completely gone. I'll get back to you with an update. But my armpits are stinking. Not to make a joke of it though. I hope everybody is safe. Yeah, before the hurricane, when I was in Texas, the Walmart was crazy, the Target was crazy. The line to get gasoline for your car was so long. I think I waited like 50 minutes, but I wasn't doing anything else. I think I was glad to wait 50 minutes. I was like, I have a new MF Doom album and I'm going to listen to it all the way through. I think so. I didn't have a backup generator in Texas because I didn't know that like anything bad could happen. So a lot of my like super flossy neighbors had like generators, and while there was no power, I saw them just like watching this big screen TV, and I was just like, okay, that's fine. And I went to school up until the day before the hurricane, and they opened up like the medians on the highway so you could just drive everywhere. It was like pretty scary. I don't know why. I guess I was scared, but I guess I was just like, Texas is crazy. Scorpions and armadillos and no medians. Okay, that's cool. In hindsight, I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Why didn't I evacuate? Um, so I'm just looking through this chat. Yeah, in Houston, Texas, they had armadillos. It was crazy. I saw a meme that was an armadillo and like someone holding the armadillo, and the meme just said white people will pet anything. I was like, come on, you wouldn't pet an armadillo? But like, I get it. So I'm just going to make this this live chat 1 hour. So right now we're at 40 minutes. So I know I'm like, this is the 20-minute mark, guys. But I just thought I would say that. But if anybody's in Philly, I definitely was thinking of like a dinner recommendation. I am gonna include it in my monthly favorites, but I've been trying to do like more. I don't know. Like, I think I hit it a little bit with my previous video about like healthy online practices. And let me know if you guys watched that video because I kind of put it out there and I was like, I'm not sure. But I feel like I get really caught up in like Yelp reviews and stuff, or like looking for reviews, and I forget to go to the places I really like. So I've been trying to branch out and I don't know, go to places. Ooh, tattooed bombs is a good idea. But I used to. So a couple years ago, and it was definitely before there was a heavier social media presence, I definitely love to like go to vegan places. And I used to think like when I would travel, like if I would go to New York for the day, or if I was in Richmond, I was always like, I'm so stoked that I'm vegan because it gives me an excuse to like go on these little food tours. And I don't know why I don't do it in my own city. And like I've been trying to do it more often. I feel like I should make a video about it, but then the vegan scene is also like a little close knit. So I feel like if I showed up and I was like, "What's up, bitches? It's Quicken, and today we're in the Tasty, and I'm gonna get myself an omelet." People be like, "I'm sick of seeing this chick," but that might be all in my head. But I'd love to make that video. Maybe if people come with me, that would be a good podcast. I think that you guys ask me for a podcast so often, and I'm just like, really, I really want to. But H3H3's podcast is like hyper equipped. They have like a sound guy. Like, what if something goes wrong? I'm reading the group chat here. I know I'd love to do more vegan videos. You guys are really supportive about it too. I feel like 5 or 6 years ago on Tumblr, being a vegan like just opened you up for a ton of critique. But now vegan is a lot more of a common word. So I feel like it's okay. But I also feel like people have also made up their mind about like vegans. Like you can't really like 10 years ago, you could be like, "Hey, and I'm just letting you know I'm vegan." And people are like, "What is that? Why?" "Oh, I see your point of view." But now you tell people and they're like, "I already made up my mind because someone already explained it to me before." And you're like, "Eh." But you guys are actually really cool about it. Usually it comes from like a place of like being curious or something. You guys are usually really chill. I love doing vlogs like spend the day with me. I think I don't do enough, so there's like not much to celebrate. My friend Chelsea and I were supposed to go like vintage shopping today, but I feel like I don't know. I have to like do it early and it was too late. Will you talk about blacklight tattoos at some point? Yeah, actually, so I started following an artist who does blacklight tattoos. And I am just nervous to ask her if I can talk to her. And that's been like 2 months. I really should just message her, but then what if she's like, fuck off? I don't think she would be. Honestly, I don't. But I'm scared. And I don't, it's something that I would rather like have an expert explain. Sometimes I feel like I should go back and like redo videos with like an expert opinion instead of being like, this happened to me. That's it. I don't know. I guess if there's ever a video you wanted me to redo with more expertise, I would actually love that. Sometimes I think about how there's so many episodes of Tattoo Talk Tuesday. I'm like, what am I even talking about? Inked Magazine hit me up again like 3 days ago. And they said that they wanted me to come on location for an interview. And I was kind of like, okay, like I would do that because then I'm actually physically there. If you guys don't know, I was on Inked Magazine's website as like a feature, but they didn't tell me that they were doing it, and they just took like pictures from my Instagram and just like made an article about me like absent of me, and I was kind of like, okay, sure. So they hit me up the other day to do an interview where like I'm literally involved, but then they stopped replying. And I'm just like, I'm exhausted. So, I don't know. I would do that, but oh, why did YouTube call you? So, YouTube called me on the phone, and it was pretty cool. I think like periodically they check in on some creators, which is like super dope. It's nice that they do that stuff. But so I was assigned like a little guy, and he called me to like talk to me, and he'll call me one more time in September to like see if any of like how our conversation, how I like implemented it onto YouTube. And he told me to create a schedule and stick to it, which is something that I really need to do because that's advice from YouTube. But then, you know, he'll come in and he'll tell you like the things that you should work on your channel. And you can take that advice in jest, or you can do whatever you want with it. Like I went to work the next day and like told Josie what he said, and Josie was like, well, it kind of looks like you kind of like have an idea of what you like to do and like what your audience likes, but listen to him. So, you know, he said create a schedule and stick with it, and I think that is good advice. He said different stuff like, you know, have good thumbnails, and like, don't we all want good thumbnails on our videos? Stuff like that. And then he like asked me like, YouTube Studio, there's one in LA and then there's one in New York, and he like asked me which one I wanted to be affiliated with because there's not like a huge like Philadelphia YouTuber like representation. But I don't know. I would go to like a YouTube thing in New York, honestly. And hang out there. It doesn't take me long to get to New York, but I would be nervous. But that's why YouTube called me. And it's cool, they just like checked in, which was like really nice of them, I guess, because I think that I'm really weird. So they were like, no, we're on your page right now. While I'm like on the phone with them, and I'm like, sorry about the things I've said, and the videos I've made, and the outfits I've worn. But they were cool. My Q tattoo is fine, right? Wait, is this the right light? It's right here in the shadow. There it is. It's good. It's a good boy. It healed fine. Using tag derm was really weird. But it created a really cool index for people in the future because there's a ton of comments on that video to like give people advice, which is really chill. I used it using the instructions on the box. So I feel like if you're going to use it and stray from the instructions on the box and use it as like a tattooed person, you have to get advice from someone who's used it, because you're not really using it, I guess, as directed, which is fine. I liked it. I think, you know, if I were to get a tattoo in the next couple weeks and like wanted to go swimming in the river, it would be great. I have a bunch of it. So now what do I do? What would your absolute dream tattoo be? A tattoo that doesn't hurt. So I'm getting my back finished. I like put it on Twitter a while ago that my goal was September, and wouldn't you know it, September's in like a week. So I'm going to start getting the rest of my back finished, and like I feel like when I was getting my back tattoo, it felt so big, and now that it's healed, it's kind of just like there's none right here, and it starts like right up there. So I don't know, it's like not a full back tattoo. It's something to be really picky about, I suppose, and I know that your lower back hurts more than anything else on earth, but I also love the ritual, and I'm not saying like the pain. I love the ritual of like getting up early, going on the bus, like going to Brooklyn and like seeing Mark. And I don't know, I feel really cool at Rose Tattoo. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you can. My Instagram is Quiet Cool Kid, spelt out. But the last time I was at Rose Tattoo, and if you've ever been to Rose Tattoo, it's such a cool space, and a lot of like people just kind of walk by and feel very welcome there and can like kind of hang out. Like even while I was there last time, there was a girl, she was like a tourist, and she was cool. I was like, you want to run to the store with me? And a friendship blossomed. But Rose kind of does that. It like it's a cool place. And the last time I was at Rose Tattoo, it just happened that two people who are like into tattoos, like working on apprenticeships, artists in New York, were both there, like working on sketches. And then I was there, and all of us had back tattoos by Mark. Like, just all of us in the room. And Mark took a picture of all of us, and I thought that it was really cool. So, I don't know, like, being able to go to Rose Tattoo and feel that, like, sense of community, like, oh, we all have back tattoos, like, why do we all do this? And it's cool because before I got my back tattoo done, like, I felt like I had to be super tough. And then you meet these people who are like, damn, I'm really dragging my feet because it sucks getting your back tattooed. And you meet people who you like think are tough, and you're like, yeah, it fucking sucked, dude. So I don't know, that was cool. And then I don't know, like puts you in a club. It's cool, and I feel like my back isn't completely finished. I was like thinking about different ideas. I've had like 3 ideas, but really I don't know. So I have so many tattoos about Joanna Newsom that I'm like, oh let me listen to Divers one more time and get inspired. But I was thinking a sun and a moon, and it would be like a Me Without You reference, but I also like, I really like tattoos of the moon, and I don't have any yet, so I thought that would be cool. Ever thought about getting your neck tattooed? So, I've said this before on the channel, and I guess I'll finish the live stream with this thought, but I really like being able to like disappear in a crowd and not exist and kind of go undetected. And I'll have conversations with people now who are like, you are on the internet and you can be identified. And I'm just like, yeah, I guess, but I still want to have the ability to like not draw a ton of attention to myself and not be tattooed if I choose. And like um I think that a neck tattoo is a commitment and a step out of that comfort, and I'm not there yet. And like, yeah, I have hand tattoos, and they don't get noticed very frequently. Um, I've never shampooed someone and they've been like, "What?" Um, but I don't know. I'm not ready, I guess, to be able to have the option to be tattooed and not tattooed. And when I started getting tattooed, I feel like either tattoo artists or like musicians had neck tattoos and that was it. And now I see people who live like definitely regular everyday lives with neck tattoos. And I'd love to get into somebody's head about it without like seeming like I'm novelizing them. Like, hey, like you're a barista at a coffee shop. What was the thought process of like I'm going to get this neck tattoo? And I want to get in somebody's head and hear them out and hear what they have to say and kind of understand that. Because I'm not there yet and I don't understand. But I don't have to ever understand it. And if someone doesn't want to have that conversation with me, why would they? I think it would be a good Tattoo Talk Tuesday episode, at least for me. Like, if I interviewed somebody, it would be genuine because I would love to know their insight, but I also don't want to novelize anybody because I follow like 400 people on Instagram who have their neck tattooed. Like, I don't want someone to watch my video and be like, oh, did you just wake up one morning, quicken, and wonder? I don't know. Or people do know. Yeah, I think taboo tattoo placement would be a good video, but I also think right now there's a huge push for people getting face tattoos, and a lot of people I feel like just do it. And I want to talk to somebody where I'm like, hey, like what was the thought process, or were you like, fuck it, I deserve to be able to have a face tattoo and still function healthfully in society, which I'm all for. I think that that's dope, and I think that that's true. I don't want to say I come from an older generation of tattooing because I don't, but I do remember when it wasn't okay, and although I'm not this way, I do remember the progress of like if you wanted your hand tattooed, both your arms had to be tattooed, etc., etc. I remember that world, but I also don't give a fuck. Like if you only want to have hand tattoos, like go for it. So I don't know. Do you think a head tattoo is the same thing like on the skull? I'm not sure. Like it kind of depends. Like if you were to shave the side of your head and get a tattoo there, and then you didn't wear your head shaved, I'm not sure why you would. I think it would really hurt, especially if it was like just for a secret or just like something funny. But I've seen people who wear their hair short and you can still see the tattoo underneath. I mean, if you're running out of room and you want a tattoo, you always have your fucking head. But do remember that as we get older, our hair does get thinner, and like there are bald patterns that really happen. So if you definitely wanted a tattoo no one ever fucking see, you'd have to really put it somewhere and hope that you don't go bald in your 40s, 50s, 60s. And I worry about that because, like, what if my hair starts to thin and you can see this, like, I don't know, goose tattoo every day, everywhere I go? Then that will kind of counter my neck tattoo feelings. But I think they're tight. Like, I like to see the girls who, like, get here tattooed and it comes onto their face a little bit. I think that that's really cool. I've seen that happening. But yeah, like a secret head tattoo. I really wanted to get this iron and wine tattoo, and I was thinking of getting it right up in my hairline. But I don't know. And then I got the tender tattoo, and I was like, fuck it. Goose tattoo. Yeah, I think that, those head tattoos, like, if you, like, go gray or your hair turns white when you're older, All of that could happen. Yeah, and you have to shave your head. So we are at the 1 hour mark. I'm just gonna answer like one more thing in the group chat that kind of pops up to me, and then I will bid you adieu. If you miss any part of this live stream, I do let it process and then post later, and that's kind of it. Are you ever gonna talk about Ink Master? Here we go. I don't think so, and I think that is because the people on Ink Master are real people, and like I follow some of them on Instagram, so they're real ass people, and like some of them know who I am. So like I don't have anything ill to say about it. I think a couple years ago I got tattooed by this dude who just like really wanted to be on Ink Master so badly, and like all he cared about was his portfolio and like not people. I do think that like it's weird. I think it's weird to treat people like so disposable. Like, oh, I'm just tattooing whoever the fuck who's getting this memorial tattoo because he was a guy. And I'm like, okay, he's having a tattoo forever. And this isn't a fake show, so he leaves with that tattoo forever. And I've seen like pilots of the show where I'm like, you let that guy get that tattoo forever. So I do feel bad because I'm not a tattoo artist. I'm a person with tattoos, so I like vibe with that. But at the same time, the people in the show are real ass people, and you'll hear like trickle down stories like, yeah, like they really blew up some drama on the show that wasn't actually present in real life and stuff. And I don't know, like I think it's hard to get your name out there, and if you wanted to be on Ink Master, like I don't see, like I think that that's cool. I don't watch the show. I definitely have. It's definitely one of those shows I can like put on and just like watch while I eat food, and I like heckle it a little bit. I'm like, this guy. I love to heckle, but I don't know. I think that it's a little. I don't know what good it does. I think that it is purely entertainment, and the word tattoo is kind of thrown in the mix, and some of these tattoo artists go on to do great things, or they're just like normal fucking people. Like I follow Katie Tattoos on Instagram, and I hit her up. I was like, yo girl, next time you're in Philly, let's link. And she was like, yeah dude. So that's just a real ass person. That's not even like someone unobtainable. You can literally message her and she'll reply. So like I'm never gonna like talk about Ink Master in that way. Also, Dave Navarro, call me back, dude. So here's Ethan. He was asleep and he made a little chirp when I picked him up. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I got some questions about my P.O. box. I definitely noticed them. My P.O. box is listed on my Twitter if you ever wanted to jam on that. I don't make it like super public just because like I'm nervous all day. But yeah, my monthly favorites is going to be coming out, and I'd love to get back on track. I'm actually interviewing Josie tomorrow for Tattoo Talk Tuesday. Josie is my mentor. She's Josie Outlaw 1 on Instagram. Interviewing her. Tattoo Talk Tuesday is going to get back on swing, and everything's going to be chill. And I'm just happy that you guys are here for the trial and error on my channel. And I never want to like leave you out of the process. And if I lose people over the wayside who say I'm exaggerating or that it's too much or who cares, I don't know. I just want to give you guys an authentic perspective because I'm figuring this out as I go. There's not really any other YouTubers in Philly. Tag me if you have a favorite influencer who's based out of Philadelphia. Please tag me. Please. And let me know what restaurants and what videos you want to see coming up. September, October are some of my favorite months for content, and I can't wait. Also, Stranger Things too. Let me eat your whole face. Alright, bye guys. All my fucking love in the world.